I hope you brought your appetite, because today on The Express we have your gourmet guide to the very best on the Vancouver restaurant scene. On today's show, Vancouver Magazine restaurant will really run the gamut of all types of... I toast the top tastes and tasters at the Van Mag Restaurant Awards.
We serve international flavored food.
Aaron goes for appy action at the top 4 nominees for Best New.
Explode to Japanese food or anybody.
Peter talks lifetime achievement with sushi sage Tojo.
As it really celebrates excellence, these awards.
And Bianca uncovers the influence of this event's 20-year history. That and more of the big winners from 2009. One thing about living in a foodie city, there are new restaurants opening all the time. Have you had a chance to try them all? How about the Vancouver Magazine Restaurant Award nominees for Best New? We're starting off our special with the top 4.
What does it take for a new restaurant to get noticed in a food-crazy city with new lounges, tasting rooms, and eateries opening every month? There's no formula, really, just good food and good atmosphere. Our 4 nominees in the Best New Restaurant categories have both in spades. We start at Cibo, part of the Moda Hotel.
Cibo is an Italian trattoria, so it's a pretty rustic food, the way it's presented. Really good ingredients and very, very fresh. Everything is, the menu is printed every day, so depending on what the chef sources from the market or from the suppliers that day, we will change the menu accordingly.
Cibo is in the heart of the entertainment district with a lot of before and after show diners.
It's a kind of a different type of a room, since there is neither a bar nor an open kitchen, so it's definitely a little quieter most of the time. So it's a little more intimate, a bit more warm. There's a fireplace.
At the other end of the spectrum is La Brasserie, smack in the middle of Davie Village. It serves traditional French and German comfort food and is lively with an open kitchen.
We tried to open a restaurant that's just kind of friendly, warm, comfortable. We didn't want it to be stuffy at all in any way pretentious. So as you can see, it's kind of busy and it's cozy, it's small. I want people to come in and have a really good meal and walk out of here feeling like they got value for money, and that they had good food, and that they came into a really comfortable environment, that they didn't feel in any way that they had to behave in a certain way or they had to wear a certain type of clothing.
Well, you may want to dress up just a little bit for Voya, which is part of the Loden Hotel.
Voya is a new hotel restaurant, but it's more of a non-hotel restaurant in the atmosphere and the design. We serve international flavored food, but with fresh local ingredients. So the best of our local bounty, but with recipes or styles of cooking from around the world. The dining room, as you can see, especially in the evening time, has a nice soft glow to it. It's very romantic, but in the same sense, it creates a great energy and a great buzz.
Finally, outside of the downtown core is La Quercia on 4th Avenue, and with only 29 seats, this northern Italian room can't help but be intimate.
Right now I'm doing a little potato gnocchi. We do a lot of our pastas by hand, and risottos to order, a lot of big, heavy sort of northern classics. Just really simple, classic Italian food done properly. So they can expect it to be a little noisy. It's pretty tight, and they can get a little view into the kitchen, so they can expect pretty intimate.
I'm Erin Shaw, all over Vancouver for The Express.
Later on the show, we'll tell you who won the award for Best New. And that's not all, because you're watching our Express Vancouver Magazine Restaurant Awards special. Coming up, what happens when the cooks are out of the kitchen?
Subtitles.
And the year's most coveted prize.
I am pleased to present the 2009 Chef of the Award.
Plus, a look back where it all began. While we're looking back at culinary history, did you know that the California roll was invented right here in Vancouver? Yeah, and the creator is this year's worthy winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay.
He's a small man with an enormous imagination.
In Japan, too much traditional way. I have a lot of good idea. I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. But if I stay Japan, I can't do that.
So in the summer of '71, he came to Vancouver to reinvent sushi for the West, making this once exotic and strange cuisine accessible to the Western palate.
Nobody done, I want to do that. Of course, the Japanese people like it. Then plus, other nation people appreciate food. I wanted to explore to Japanese food or anybody.
He invents one-of-a-kind dishes by fusing Eastern and Western culinary influences.
ちょっと包丁ちょうだい。
His most famous is an inside-out roll you'll find on the menus of nearly every Japanese restaurant in Canada, the California roll.
Food is just like music. You know, this instrument come together, make this kind of thing.
With that limitless imagination, he opened Tojo's in 1988, and word of his never-before-seen creations spread fast.
And I've been coming more or less once a week for 32 years, and I've never had the same meal twice.
Tojo's is even a popular stop on celebrity itineraries, and ironically, it was here that David Beckham ate his first Canadian meal. And there's a reason why his food is so popular.
Smash here, very hard one, sometimes very soft, and heavy. Heavy one, inside lot meat.
Years of training and working in the finest restaurants on both sides of the Pacific have given him a discerning eye.
We check it here. Gill is look at the, very red color. Meat is a very too soft.
Oh, okay.
It should be very firm.
Every piece of sushi he serves was alive and breathing in the morning. These crabs were the very same ones we went shopping for hours earlier.
A lot of Japanese restaurants will specialize in sushi or they'll specialize in cooked dishes. Tojo's is the only one I know of, including in Japan, that is superb in both areas.
Tojo was also the first to introduce smoked salmon into the culinary lexicon of the Japanese.
Great to be Shiro.
But despite the fame, he's loath to accept any enticements to expand internationally. For him, it's all about the food.
For example, Las Vegas, I cannot get shopping. They supply automatically. That's no chef. You just only business. I like to enjoy my work. That is here I can do that, Vancouver. I like to see more regular customer. I like to talk to my friend. That is most important.
And it's that down-to-earth spirit that makes this unassuming man from Kogashima, Japan, so endearing. In Vancouver, I'm Peter Kim for The Express.
It's rumored that Tojo has an encyclopedic knowledge of 2,000 traditional Japanese recipes. Imagine dinner at his house, or better yet, at Tojo's. And we'll have more winners from the Vancouver Magazine Restaurant Awards coming up, including Bartender of the Year, Restaurant of the Year, Chef of the Year, plus these new additions to local foodie fame.
6 years. 6 years in second place. I was so close to wearing a bridesmaid's dress today. Thank you very much. Highly appreciate the support again, and I think thank you to everybody in our category. Thanks to my staff, and which provides a great family feel in our business, and thanks to my wife for that. Thank you so much.
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Joanna Ward.
Ready? This is for all the money.
Let's see if you can get this.
Nice shot. I think I got to work on my game a little bit. You were awesome. How many goals do you think you got on it today?
Maybe 20. I'm not sure. Never know.
I think you're pushing it a little bit with 20.
DJ Leanne and Alex Marr are here. Welcome back to the Express at the Van Meg Restaurant Awards. With the DJ and the hundreds of beauty foodies, it's hard to imagine that this event started with just 40 people sitting around drinking wine in an office. It's true. We're going to take you back to look at some memorable culinary covers and find out how this event grew so much in size and status.
It is the culinary event of the year in Canada.
For the past 20 years, Vancouver Magazine has been honoring restaurants like the Blue Water Cafe at their annual awards gala.
Last year at Vancouver Magazine Awards, we got the gold medal for Best Seafood Restaurant, and that was extremely exciting.
Head chef Frank Papp says his crew works hard all year long, and taking home an award recognizes their efforts.
And made all of us very proud.
The prestige associated with winning an award is felt by chefs and restaurants across Vancouver.
The response was extraordinary because it really celebrates excellence, these awards, and it raises all the boats that much higher. And of course, over time, they've become highly competitive.
Jamie Ma was instrumental in taking the awards from a small office party to a gala event.
We began the awards 20 years ago. Several years after that, I arrived on the scene, and Sarah Reeder was our fashion editor. And we thought, wouldn't this be great fun to make a public event?
Over the years, the awards gala and magazine release have become a highly anticipated event.
It's a really dynamic package this year. It's quite exciting. So there's all the results of the actual awards themselves, but there's also a really fun look back at how our tastes have changed in the city over the past 20 years.
It's wonderful, and I really send anniversary greetings to everyone involved. I hope, but I never really thought it would be quite this grand.
What makes it so popular with our readers is it answers that very simple question, which is, where should we go to eat tonight?
And that's a question Vancouver Magazine is sure to be answering for at least another 20 years. I'm Bianca Salterbeck in Vancouver for The Express.
The magazine with the results in it is the best seller of the year. And it doesn't just create a flurry of restaurant reservations, but also a flurry in the letters section of the mag, with some readers agreeing and some voicing their opposition. No controversy over the 2009 Bartender of the Year. In fact, he has teamed up with the very first winner in that category for a sparkling new venture.
Behind these gates is Gastown's newest little secret, and behind the wood is Vancouver Magazine's 2009 Bartender of the Year, Josh Pape. He was a university student looking for a job, and before he knew it, he left human kinetics at Capilano College to pursue his true passion.
I learned cocktail culture pretty early on and just fell in love with it, so worked from there and haven't looked back really. I learned that you can do anything with this and people are impressed by it, and it can really enhance someone's experience, and dining is something that I really enjoy.
Shambar's former bar manager is now ankle deep in his own creation. It's called The Diamond. He and good friend and business partner Mark Brand are weeks away from unveiling it to eager customers.
Josh and I hit it off from day one. We both have iron livers, so we would be the last two standing on many, many occasions. Both of us are big dreamers. You know, we have always had this dream to do this as well, and it just happened a little faster than we thought.
Mark brings his business mind to the table, but he's no stranger behind the bar. He was Van Mag's inaugural Bartender of the Year in 2006. He says to have Josh win is great for the business, but also the cocktail community.
Actually, he's just really good at what he does. He's excellent on the wood. He's a great study of the art. He knows all about it. There's very few a drink that you can slip past him. And his palate and balance are second to none. He's very, very, very talented, and he deserves the award that he's getting this year.
Josh, do you have a signature cocktail?
I make a pretty mean Manhattan.
Ice, good bourbon, sweet vermouth, orange bitters, and an even stir. The perfect Manhattan.
This is one of the really proper classic drinks that is so simple that all of the ingredients speak for themselves when balanced properly. This is what I do. I didn't get into the owning a business so that I could, manage it from the side. I really want to be here.
The Diamond is a tribute to Old Vancouver and is more than just a bar. It will also be a cocktail school where Josh and Mark share their expertise. They want to eliminate the stigma that surrounds bartending and hope the Diamond experience will remind everyone it's a craft.
I try to look at creating drinks the same way that a chef would and just building on them. And so you'll find, another ingredient that'll pair really nicely with it and something to bring it all through. It used to be a craft that was so highly regarded, and now it's kind of something you do when you go to university.
We are really dedicated to balancing drinks, to making things innovative and creative, but also respecting the history of all of it.
What's it like to be Van Meg's Bartender of the Year?
Well, that's a huge honor. I mean, that's right now it's one of the most highly regarded awards for what we do in this city. So it's incredible. It's very humbling. I'm so grateful that, to be given that opportunity.
But when it gets announced, people are going to flip out. Everybody will stand up and cheer and laugh, and we'll get him fall down drunk on the night. It'll be really fun.
Cheers, Josh. In Vancouver, I'm Melanie Panetta for The Express.
You can check out the boys' brand new bar, The Diamond. It'll be Manhattan's all around. And we do have more from the Vancouver Magazine Restaurant Awards coming up, including the two biggest categories, Chef of the Year and Restaurant of the Year, plus these yummy categories.
I want everybody to know our condolences go out to David Schofield because his beloved Leafs didn't make the playoffs. Yeah! And we all know how hard all of us work, and so it doesn't really matter what category or what level. Everybody's really doing a great job in this city, and so hats off to all of you.
I want to thank the Vancouver Magazine judging panel for this award. I'd like to congratulate the Vancouver Magazine to 20 years of publishing. And this time I'd like to thank Stefan Kasha, who is not here today. He's the restaurant director, and he does an awesome job. He's pretty shy. He doesn't like to come out for events like that, but without him, it wouldn't be the same.
It's a lot of hard work. It is a lot of consistency. And as I slowly try to outshine the girl each year, it gets more and more fun. So thank you very much.
Hair services for the Express provided by the Lounge Hair Studio. The Lounge, helping you reach your full image potential.
Remembering is difficult, but even more difficult if you have Alzheimer's disease, a disease that affects the brain, erases memory, and eventually takes life. The Alzheimer's Society is fighting back. It provides support, information, and funds research into finding the cause and a cure. Until then, remember this.
Welcome back to The Express at Canada's largest and most prestigious culinary awards event. So far, we've introduced you to the Lifetime Achievement winner, the Bartender of the Year, and had a look at the nominees for Best New. We also had a look back 20 years ago at where it all began. But now we're going to look ahead to the winners for Chef of the Year, Restaurant of the Year, and hopefully find out how one gets to judge the Vancouver Magazine Restaurant Awards. This is one of the biggest days of the year for the Vancouver restaurant scene. How are you feeling? It's a pretty big event.
I'm feeling fine. I managed to have one, but only one drink.
Yeah, it definitely gets a bit rowdy here, hey? It's a fun party, certainly.
Yeah, and it's a year for a fun party, too. I think people are ready to have some fun and cut loose a bit.
I love things too, like Supplier of the Year, where you get sort of a different perspective on the food scene.
one of the things that makes our food scene so wonderful is the emphasis on local products and, regional sourcing and seasonal cuisine and so on. So all the restaurants take great pride in where they acquire their food and how fresh it is, how local it is, and so on. So it's a natural category for us to acknowledge.
Please welcome to the stage the recipient of this year's Producer or Supplier of the Year Award, Steve Johansson of Organic.
Supplier of the Year. Congratulations, Steve and Frank as well. How does it feel?
It's awesome. It's a recognition that we really appreciate for all the good work that the chefs are doing throughout Vancouver, wanting to be sustainable, all that kind of stuff.
In a way, it's a category that, for some of us, we think of it like ingredient of the year. So tell us about your ingredient, if you can.
Well, it's very exclusive to our waters, Pacific Coast waters. It's caught in very deep, pristine waters. It's not farmed. It's so exclusive to have, and we're very proud to be, as fishermen, to be able to supply it right from the boat to the restaurants here in Vancouver. It's been a lot of fun for us.
And then if you had to name one category that was the most popular, maybe the biggest award of the day, can we say it? Is there one?
I think it's got to be best bathrooms, isn't it?
Is there a category for that? Hey?
No. Restaurant of the Year has got to be the best. It's got to be the kind of climax. Chef of the Year and Restaurant of the Year, I think, are what people wait to find out.
And the 2009 Restaurant of the Year award winner is Chiapino's Inoteca.
Restaurant of the Year. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I feel overwhelmed, but as well, as I was saying to another person, it motivates to get more focus and to work harder. I think every recognition is not about your ego, but it's about what it does for the business and what it does personally to you and your team to motivate in order to improve. So thank you to Vancouver Magazine.
If there's one thing about Chiapino's Inoteca that you're most proud of, what would it be?
It's the team. The team that has been around for a long time, that makes people really feel comfortable, and the non-pretentiousness. Despite how many awards we win, we know that the number one is a customer who comes through the door. So.
Coveted perhaps even more than Restaurant of the Year or Chef of the Year, it's getting to be a judge for the Restaurant Awards. How did you score that gig?
Wow, I love judging anything, but food and wine is one of my specialties. I've loved it all my life. I was a lawyer most of the time, but now I'm just eating and drinking.
And how does Vancouver rank then against the chefs of the world?
Well, Vancouver ranks right at the very top.
I have friends who come out from Toronto and New York and Los Angeles and say, where should I go and grab dinner? And you think, where do I begin? There are 100 wonderful rooms in the city now, so I think it's thriving.
Congratulations to all of the nominees and all of the winners. By the way, Best New went home with La Quercia, and they also won Best Casual Italian. And now, I think it's time for a drum roll, because we're about to find out who won Chef of the Year.
The 2009 Chef of the Year Award to Robert Belcham of Fuel.
Tim Pittman, Tom Dowdy, they're what makes it easy for me. And to my wife, thank you.
The 2009 winner is no surprise considering his skill and style, even though his restaurant has only been open less than 2 years. Can you feel the heat? Because we're taking you to Fuel.
In another setting, Chef Robert Belcham of Fuel Restaurant could look a little scary. He's big, he's tattooed, and he's got knives. And he's this year's Vancouver Magazine Awards Chef of the Year.
Our approach to food here is to find the best quality ingredients that we can find, and use them very simply. Try not to screw around with them too much.
Belcham has come a long way from a small-town picky eater who never tasted a tomato until he was 21.
I mean, I grew up in a family where the food was definitely not the most important thing. It's such an unbelievable world. I mean, you can never stop learning because there's just so much different stuff out there That's the greatest thing about being a chef. It's always something new, always.
And Fuel is a wealth of learning opportunities. The restaurant serves West Coast fare with an emphasis on local seasonal foods cooked right.
And that we're trying to do something a little bit different than most restaurants are doing with the way we deal with our purveyors, the way we deal with the products that we use. Hopefully that's part of it.
It certainly is, but what many customers might notice is the way that Belcham deals with his staff.
Oh, awesome. I was gonna grab a knife, just hold on.
It's hard to hide when the kitchen is front of house.
Being a chef has very little to do with cooking. It's actually about managing people. And that was the most eye-opening thing about it. It's about getting the best out of the potential of the cooks. To 8 liters of milk?
Yeah.
That's good. You treat them with respect, they'll treat you with respect.
Hey Lars, did you think of a dessert for a dextrose yet?
He works a lot of hours, and that makes you want to work the same amount of hours to please him, and also to get to where he is. Being that we're an open kitchen, a lot of yelling and screaming doesn't really do very much. A lot of guests want that. Happy cooks make great food.
And judging by the awards, the cooks must be pretty happy.
We've been able to take the food to a much more complicated level than I thought we would be able to at the beginning, and that's been something that's made me very happy.
And being named Chef of the Year doesn't hurt either.
To be in that group of those chefs who have won it in the past: Pino, Rob Clark, David Hawksworth, Beanie, Scott Yeager. I mean, that's like the upper echelon of chefs in the city.
And that's right where he belongs. I'm Erin Shaw in Vancouver for The Express.
It's a bread pudding for our chicken dish.
Congratulations to Chef Robert Belcham for both winning Chef of the Year, and to him and Tom for opening their second restaurant on Main Street, Campinolo. For a complete list of all the categories, things like best chops and best service and everything in between, you can look for the April edition of Vancouver Magazine. I'm Johanna Warden from all of us on the show. Thank you so much for watching. Happy dining, and we'll see you next time.